Well, hi, this is a pretty long video of Uncle Jack. There he is. And me. We are walking from about the Western Union station near his home back to the school where he lives. We took this, I wanted to sort of document the area that he lives in. This is probably the garden spot of Patna right here. There's a bank on the left. Across the street there's a big park. And there's Uncle Jack going strong as always. He just keeps going with a smile on his face. He just seems tireless. But in any case, we walk on the street because that's usually the easiest way. This is after rush hour. This is the place is settling down. If you can imagine about 3 to 4 times as much traffic during the day, that's more like it. The women are all dressed beautifully, although there aren't many of them out there. But this little walk is the walk that Uncle Jack takes when he goes to, say, pick up donations at a bank or at Western Union. And so I thought we would simply walk back to St. Xavier's School, where he lives, and just show you what an oasis. Hello, there he is. Show you what an oasis he has getting out of the noise and the traffic here. We're going to take a look to the right, I think, pretty soon, and we're going to see this huge park with a big statue of Gandhi where they have political rallies. We went in there and got followed around because we were the entertainment for the day, being Caucasian. There's Gandhi up there in big statue of some metal. That's the hotel we stayed at back there. And there's Uncle Jack. And we'll continue on. Again, this is a long video, but I wanted to just give an idea that to those of you who haven't been to his place, haven't been to India, to see where he actually lives. He lives in a beautiful German-built building that is part of the school. There we go with a rickshaw right there. That's the park again. You can see on the ground there's just lots of litter everywhere. This is a very poor country, and it seems to be, the litter seems to be proportional to the poorness. This is one of the nicer areas. One thing I'll have to say about honking is that it's never out of anger. It's only for safety. It's an absolutely integral part of driving here to let people know where you are. And now we're coming up to the school itself there on the left. Those railings are the entrance into St. Xavier's. There it is. And as we go in, you'll probably see that the sound begins to fade away as we get further and further away from the street. Something that will drive you absolutely crazy if you can't get away from it.
This is such an oasis of calm.
So this is the rectory grounds, and they're beautifully maintained. We're going to go inside just to the rectory. It's kind of dark tonight because, as I said, this really is dusk. It's about to get quite dark, and so it's going to look darker than it really is during the day. But you go through past all these beautiful plants and into a lobby here, and this is where Uncle Jack greets visitors. We sat in that room quite a bit because it had a fan. And then over to the left here is this long hallway that takes you down to the living quarters and to the dining room. And we're going to, again, this is really dark compared to how it is most days. The curtains have been drawn. There's a courtyard through the doors to the left. There's living quarters on the right here. This is where Anthony and Leslie spent their time when they were visiting Uncle Jack. And as we get down towards the end there, we'll take a peek out one of these windows and look at the school grounds. Really not bad, eh? This is one of the administrator's offices. Stairway up to the living quarters. And then in the left here, this is the dining area. There's almost always something to eat or drink here. In this case, Uncle Jack was trying to get us some tea. So the lights are off. It's kind of dark, but this is where you can come in and get food most times of the day. And now we're walking out the end of that hallway towards the back of the campus. Over to the left there's going to be the actual school. We're going to go to the right, though, to their kitchen. Briefly, Uncle Jack is trying to find some way to get some tea made for us. There he is, just checking out to see who's around. What's interesting about this kitchen is that part of it uses methane gas from their methane producing tank out on the grounds there. They put all sorts of cow dung in there, and it creates methane gas at a low pressure, and they actually use it to cook. I don't think he found what he wanted, so he's going to go inside and get some tea for us. I'm going to mosey over and just take a look at the school grounds where everybody is taught.
Okay.
I think I would have to say that this is the cleanest spot I saw in India, with the possible exception of the Taj Mahal. They just added the top 2 stories of that building a few years ago. And that's looking back at the rectory, the windows we peeked out of. And here we are again going out that same door, and there's the kitchen that we went into. But we're going to go a little further. This part's out of focus because it just got steamy on the lens, I believe. That or I did something wrong. But that black tank right there, that's the methane tank. It is it's one big cylinder inverted into another one, and it just creates methane that they cook with. And this is their garden. They cook, they grow a lot of their own herbs and things here. And there's the methane tank. And so we'll head back. We're going to go back into the main hallway. I think they've opened some windows now. As you'll see, it's a little bit lighter. And we'll look out the window. Uncle Jack can be heard telling me a bit about the addition.
So they added 2 more stories?
Yeah. This is a couple of years.
So now I'm heading back to my hotel, and Uncle Jack is coming with me because he doesn't necessarily like us to travel alone. I'm also going to an ATM, and that's another reason he wanted to walk me at least that far. He wants to make sure we don't get taken advantage of or get into trouble in any way, and that's really pretty good because there's a lot to be careful about there. So we're going to go back and head the same way home that we initially came, and I think now you can get a pretty good idea of the immediate neighborhood of where he lives. It's probably the garden spot of Patna. It's bustling, it's crowded, it's noisy, but he has a decent oasis in which to live and work. So, still time to come see him. He's an extremely attentive host, and you'll learn a lot about India. It was absolutely fantastic seeing him. And